I'm not doing anything with them because I just saw some but I don't know how to go about it. I think that is why I said we should just you should just help us as regards for some of us that are novice, as regards this. So I believe at the end of today, I will be able to invest my money without panicking or without any fear or hope.
Any fear
So
of losing it.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think at this note, I submit. So you are welcome on board. Thank you.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Mr. Tayo, for that. I think the training, the manual that I'm going to share with us also capture that, the fear of people in investing in the stock market. Yeah, those that says that is risky, you may lose your money. Yes, they are not lying, but actually the opportunities in investing in stock is more than the loss. So many people are discouraged going into stock market because they don't actually have a good understanding of what the stock market actually entails. So in today's session, we're going to be looking at what the stock market entails in broad terms, and how you can come into the market, how you can leverage into the market, and then the cautions that you need to make. So the little cautions that you also need to take when you are investing in the stock market, we also mentioned that as well. But I must say to you that investing in stock is not if you do it right from the inception, and that is what we're going to be covering today. If you do it right, then you have nothing to worry about. And I say it again, you have nothing to worry about if you do it in the right way. And what are those right ways that you needed to do it? Those are the things that I'm going to be sharing with us today. I don't know why the presentation is refusing to load. So I wanted it to start moving, but it's hanging. So I hope, I think maybe I will have to restart. Okay. Sorry, what can we see on the screen now?
How to invest in the global stock market. I think the page that was shared.
Okay.
Yeah, the page that was shared.
I don't know why it's not moving to the next slide. Maybe I would have to. I will have to join the Zoom in my other phone and then log out on the laptop. So while I'm doing that, then who is the next person that is willing to also share their experience? Mr. Raphael, brilliant. So let's have Mr. Raphael in. You have the floor now, Mr. Raf. You may need to unmute, yeah.
Okay, and thank you so much, sir. I'm so glad to be among the participants in this evening session. I just had my experience on is on trading, forex trading, where we hide under an expert. So the expert will be the one marketing our money for us. But at times, the money just fall. Then overnight, we just retry. Then the second day, it rises again. But at times, we are always scared of investing, as JM has said, because once it crashes, you have to be looking for another expert that has many records of marketing that does not fall at all. Maybe like 3-4 times of trading that doesn't fall. So I think I've tried it for like I think that was about 3-4 years ago. But ever since it crashed, that the whole money got lost, and I think I stopped since then. So I'm just thanking God that this session is coming up, and I pray that this evening I'll be able to learn more so that I'll be able to trade on myself and not to hide under an expert like I do before. Thanks, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jacob. So that is forex trading.
Èmi lẹ rí. Rárá o. Wàhálà.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Can you all hear me now?
I can hear you now, sir. Can hear you now, sir.
Okay. So I'm trying to switch now. I've restarted. Okay, can we see my screen now?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We can
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can
Okay.
see.
You can see.
Thank you so much. Apology for a little hiccups that we had. So we're swinging straight into action now. So now this is a session to talk on investing in stock market as a beginner. And I know some of us that are in this class had already been investing in the market, but we're going to be dealing with a lot of issues relating to what makes some people afraid of going into stock market, and at the same time, the risk involved and how you can mitigate the risk. So if you are joining this class today, I want to congratulate you that you are already beginning a journey into building wealth for your future. There are a lot of investors who today, they are just sitting in the comfort of their home, even globally, and enjoying the wealth coming from their investment. And when is the right time to invest? A lot of people think that investment should be done when you have enough. And I tell people, investment is not only when you have enough, investment is always better to be done when you are still earning as little as you can. There is no amount that is too small to invest, and there is no amount that is too much to invest. In the past, I remember when the Stanbic IBTC shares, they were selling the Stanbic IBTC share. That was in 2003, 2004. And I took opportunity then. I was still working in the bank then. And I took opportunity to invest 20,000, I think 20 to 15,000 naira into Stanbic IBTC share. I think I bought about 1,000 to 2,000 units. And it was so surprising to know that recently the stock is worth more than 200,000 or 300,000 in the market. And I have been receiving dividend every year since I had that investment. And the recent example is the GTB stock. Many of us will remember that recently GTB were sending messages to us that you can invest in the GTB stock, you can invest in, and they shared it with us and they were giving some deadline. Some people joined, and less than a year after, for so many people that joined, their stock has increased drastically. But does it mean that every shares will increase and bring that big return? No. But the truth is, you need to be guided when you are investing. Another thing is, can you lose the whole of your money when you invest in stock? Yes, you can lose the whole of your money when you invest in stock, just like you can also lose your money when you invest in shares and in Forex, like Mr. Jacob exemplified. So he has given an example, and Mr. Tayoto has given an example that he wanted to have done this long before now, but a lot of people were telling him that it's risky, you may lose your money. And the truth is, those people that said that, they have not lied. But why we are here today is to now put us on the right path towards investing and investing wisely. Mr. Jacob mentioned a platform where they do the Forex trading. Then that is a broker. And another thing we need to be careful of is selecting our broker. As we have brokers in Forex trading, we also have brokers in stock trading, that is shares trading. So I will be going straight into the session now so that I can read through my presentation, and then we begin to dive deep into what we have today. So today we are going to be talking to you as a community of investors. So don't see yourself only as a potential investor. You are more like a community of investors now. And why is that coming up? I deliberately call it a community because investment is always done in two arms. Investment is always done in two arms. You make your investment decision based on two analyses. So if you are investing in a company, take for example, Jimpori or Amugold Global Network, the producer of Jimpori, you may decide to say you want to buy into the shares of Amugold, but you cannot buy into the shares of Amugold because Amugold is not a PLC. So that is first thing that I would like to explain to us by the time I start this session. There are some of the things I will be saying that you may not see on my slide. So I expect that by now, some of you will have your notes with you to take note. So Amugold, you cannot buy the stock of a limited company in the stock market, because a stock market is just like a market where you go to buy pepper, tomatoes, rodo, and get home to cook your food. But it is only stocks of listed companies. And that is why it is highly not, that is what limits your risk as an investor, because you are not investing in just an ordinary company. It's not just a limited company. Before you can buy the shares in the stock market, that company must have been a public limited company. That is PLC. That is why you used to see some company, they end with LTD, some ends with PLC. Now, the question is this: does that mean I cannot buy in the share of a limited company? Yes, you can buy in the share of a limited company, but it's always done through what we call private placement. It is not in the stock market. It's just like some people go to market to buy pepper in large quantity from the Hausa that brought it from the north. Why some people go to the side of their house to buy the pepper in just small quantity. So limited company can arrange people, like minds, potential investor, and do what we call private placement for them to invest in their shares. That also gives them ownership into that company, but they cannot buy it in the stock market. So those stock that we are talking here now, they are the companies that are public limited company that you can now, they are listed in the stock market and you can buy from their shares right from the comfort of your home. Before today, you buy shares from a broker, you have to register with the broker, they will now take it to the stock market. In fact, you cannot buy small quantity. But with the advent of technology, there are now apps that you can use to do this. So I will be exposing a lot of information to us. This is just an introduction. So every Sunday from now until 21st of December 2025, we will be equipping you with all the knowledge that you require. So I don't want you to jump into investing. I want you to invest with information. I want you to be an informed decision maker before you start investing. One good thing about investing is by the time we are looking at the net, it's not a quick, that's a caveat now. Investing in stock is not a quick win. It's not a money multiplier. It is not a money doubling scheme. Investment in stock follow the trend. And that is why I said you make decision with two analyses. One is called fundamental analysis, and the other one is called technical analysis. I'm not going to go deep dive into that because I said I don't want to crack your brain with terminologies, but I will gradually put us through the process so that we can get it right at the end of it all. So from now till the 21st of December, I will be picking them one after the other. So whatever steps you want to take, whether you are just coming in as a first beginner or you are already investing before, or you are planning to scale your investment knowledge, this session will definitely be of help to you. So now, the thing that I tell people is that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Then the second best time is now. I remember when, like I said, I put a token into one of the trading app, which I will be showing us in the live session. I deliberately had an account that I will be sharing with you. So I put a token into it, and less than a year, that is even the stock, the UK market now, which is trading 212, and less than a year, that account is already having about 11 to 14% returns. What does that imply? I was telling myself, if I had invested 100,000 pounds into this stock, that means I will be having about 11,000 or 14,000 return on this investment already. And I looked at it that there are many of us who has kept a huge sum of money in an account, maybe in a savings account, and at the end, maybe the little that they added to it is not really significant. In this class, I will also tell you the difference between why it is riskier to keep your money in savings. Although it's secured, you get your nominal value of what you have saved in a savings account with your bank, and then versus when you put your money in investment. So that is part of what we will also be looking at. So now, the next thing that I have here is why you must learn to invest. And that is what I was trying to say earlier. Savings accounts, in one way or the other, may look secured, but the truth is that you lose money. And I will give an analysis of it. I'm not discouraging that you should not put your money in savings. But what I kept telling people is, I've always been saying this severally, that it is important to save. And I always say it that it is not safe when you don't save. I always say that it is not safe when you don't save. Can you still see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, sir. You can speak.
Okay.
You can speak.
So I always say that it is not safe when you don't save. And I also mention to my people that it is one thing to save. It is another thing to invest your savings. And I would like to also mention now that you don't save from the remaining money you have. You save as part of your expenses. So you don't treat savings as how much is left that you now said I should save. No, you save as if you are paying a rent, because savings is part of the essential. I have one time told us about budgeting. I said every of your income, you must break it into 50, 30, 20. 50% should go to the essentials, your needs. 30% should go to your wants, and 20% should go to savings. So what it implies is that things that you want to do, but you can do without it, 30%. Things that you can never do without it, your food, your rent, your clothes, basic clothes, then put 50% into it. Then 20% should go to your, how do we call it? Your savings. So what that implies is that I tell people that if it is possible to remove that 20% first, before you even start spending the remaining 80%, that will make you a prudent saver. Now, I have said savings is good, but it is also bad to save and not invest. So it is that money that you have saved that you can now decide to say, let me invest part of it. And let me give you an example. For those of us, because in this class, we have people joining from the United Kingdom, and we also have people joining from Nigeria. So I will be giving illustrations from both countries. If you are joining from the UK, for example, and you are saving in an ordinary savings account with your bank, that money you are saving with your bank, we only have an interest of maybe 2 to 4, the same thing with Nigeria, 2 to 4% interest per annum. 2 to 4% interest per annum, that's for 12 months. And if you are in the UK, any income you make as interest on that savings, the government will charge you, you are going to pay tax on it, that's income tax. But if you want to be smart with your savings, you could rather save in what is called individual savings account, which is ISA in the UK. So when you save in an ISA, you may get this same interest, but your interest will not, you would not be charged tax for it. It's called tax planning. However, I now tell people that don't also put your money just in ISA of ordinary bank. You can now put your money in the ISA of an investment platform. You can put it in the ISA of an investment platform where that money that you have saved in your savings will now be used to buy shares in a company. And that share you have buying in that company will now be giving you dividends, and you will also make interest on it. And you have £20,000 allowance of that money that you will not be charged interest on it. So imagine you making 14% on 20,000 and you are not paying a dime on it, rather than 2 to 4% on ordinary savings. For those in Nigeria, don't worry. You can also invest in shares of companies outside Nigeria. And that is why I will be showing us some of these on the live applications. So, like I said earlier, your money is actually losing purchasing power also when you keep it in savings alone. And what is purchasing power? Purchasing power of money is determined by the rate of inflation. Take, for example, you put 100,000 naira in a savings account in January, and the 100,000 naira is to give you 4% interest rate per annum, or 3%, or even 2%, depending on the bank. And the inflation rate is about 8% to 9%. Take, for example, in Nigeria, the rate is even far higher than that. So what does that mean? It means that your money is losing value as inflation rate is increasing. So if you are getting an interest of 4% on something and inflation rate is 9%, it means you are losing 5% of that money as inflation rate is increasing. And that is the reason why it is not ideal to just keep your money in savings alone. The risk is that if your money is not in savings, you may not be able to have access to it immediately. But with some of these new trading apps, you can even withdraw your money. You can sell your shares when you need it, as soon as you need it, if you are not trading for long term. Now, the next thing that I have here is start small, dream big. You can now begin to invest, unlike before. But now with all these trading apps, you can now begin to invest as low as 5,000 naira in companies both in Nigeria and even in the US if you are in Nigeria. And if you are in the UK, you can invest in companies in the UK, in US, and even in Nigeria, depending on the trading app you are using. So today's session is an eye-opener for you, and I think we must take a big advantage of it. So imagine you putting £5 into a trading app. This £5 or 5,000 every month, if you are setting aside 5,000 every month and just close your eyes and said that particular pizza or that sandwich that you used to buy, you won't buy it this time. And you decided to begin to put £5 into one of these trading apps every month. You may decide to make your own 20, you may decide to make your own 50. You would be surprised that in the next 5 years, your money will be increasing in its principal, and the interest will also be added, and you will be receiving dividend. This class, I will show you screenshot of some of the app that I use, and at the same time, I will also share my live trading of one of my accounts with you. I may not share all of my account, but I will just share one of my accounts so that you just have a look at it and see how it is being done. And we would go through a practical section as well to see if we can set up for some of you. Now, the third thing about investing is your money work for you. It was so surprising for me. I was telling my wife and I said, oh, I never even knew that I've received this much dividend. Not very big money, but each of those companies were sending in dividend, and I did not know that they were sending dividend until I went to the history of that account and I began to see that, oh, so I even have these dividends coming in. Some is 0.15 pounds, some is 0.03, some is 0.02. But this is for you to know that while you are sleeping, your money is making returns for you. So take, for example, you are investing into AmuGold. You don't need to be in AmuGold to know how we package our share butter, to know how we process it, to know how we sell it. All you are concerned about is watching how AmuGold is performing in the market and see that, oh, AmuGold is doing well. The moment you are seeing that AmuGold is doing well, the good news to you is that you are making returns. So I tell people, if you are buying on Amazon and you don't have Amazon share, then you are losing money. I tell people, if you drink Coca-Cola every day and you don't have a share in Coca-Cola, you are losing money. But if you drink Coca-Cola every day and you have a share, even if it is 15 naira share that you have in Coca-Cola, then every bottle of Coca-Cola that you take is also going to tell on you as a return because you are increasing the sales of Coca-Cola. if you keep using ChatGPT every day and you don't have a shares in IT company like Nvidia and the likes, then you are also wasting time. So all of this is what I'm going to open our eyes to, so that while you are asleep, your money will be working for you, rather than keeping your money under your pillow, which is similar to putting it in an ordinary savings account. Then the last thing is that the myth that investing is only for the rich prevents millions from building wealth. Many of us believe, like I said earlier, it is only those that are very wealthy that can invest. Please take away that. With 5,000 naira, you can invest. And I want everyone in this class, and that's why I said it is a community. Some of you will be removed as we progress. Some of you will progress with you. Like I promised, for those that joined, first 10 that joined, that expressed interest as one of our staff, I have promised that I'm going to credit the account with a startup capital of 5,000 for their account. So, and I have their name already. So we would be using them as a test run. And then for the rest, you would now be committed to dropping, to investing your own money. And we will be guiding ourselves as we continue in this class. This is a practical session that everybody must benefit. Everybody, and I said it, everybody must benefit from this. So it's not until you have a billion or millionaires in your account before you start benefiting from this. So now, the stock market. Like I said earlier, the stock market is just a simple market where companies bring their shares and says, I want to sell part of my ownership. Give me money, I want to use it to do business. So Dangote will come and say, my own is 600 naira per share. Another company will come and say, my own is 330 naira. Another one will come and say, my own is 15 naira. What determines that value? It is the performance of the company. It is their goodwill. It is patronage. It is their net worth. It is their financial position. So that is why I talked about fundamental and technical. It's also the performance of the company in the stock market also determines how people will buy, will be willing to buy their shares. And the value of shares of those companies is also determined by demand and supply forces. And what do I mean by demand and supply forces? The moment people are rushing to buy Dangote shares, you know that the higher the demand, then the higher the price. Then if people are rushing to buy Dangote shares, then the value of Dangote shares will begin to rise. And that is why you see that trend of going up, coming down, going up, coming down. But if you look at it carefully, it always go up, come down. But when it goes up again, it sometimes go beyond the normal. So stock market is just like you, all of you have now come together into a market to come and buy shares in different companies within Nigeria and also outside of Nigeria. So you invest your money by purchasing shares in a company you believe will grow and succeed over time. So there is always that element of analysis, your belief. So it's not just an assumption. So you will assume that you will look at it critically and say, from the past history, Dangote has always been increasing. It has never reduced. Even when it reduces, it increases more than what it was before. Then you may decide to say, let me invest in Dangote shares. Now, back to the fear of Mr. Tayo now, like he gave an example. Some people says to him that, oh, you may lose the whole of your money if you invest. Yes, it's true. Because there is anything that can happen to any company. So it's not that investment is an assured means of getting your money back. And that is the risk. I will also talk about the risk analysis here. You may lose the whole of your money. If the economy does not favor the company and the company decide that they are winding off, then you may lose your money. But the truth is that there is always a protection depending on what broker you are using to invest. So your money is always protected to a certain extent. And that is why we have the Security Exchange Commission and the likes as we have in different countries. So I will also be showing you some of these things you need to put into measure before you make a decision of what broker you need to use. The second thing about investment is the company's growth. The company uses capital from shareholders to expand operation, innovate, and increase profitability. So take, for example, in Nigeria recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria was recapitalizing the banks because they felt Nigerian banks needs to be stronger than it used to be. And they said every bank must increase their capital base. So the only way they felt they can get this money is, one, the investors or the shareholders or the owners can decide to say that, okay, I'm going to inject more capital. And the other option is that, okay, we may not be willing to inject more capital, but let's see if we can sell more shares. And that is why companies used to keep some shares as authorized but unissued. So they would not issue all their share capitals. They keep it, and they decide to say that when we have urgency to raise money, we can sell part of our shares. It's like borrowing from the public, but there is no obligation of a fixed interest. It is, if we make money, you get return. If we grow in the value of our company, then the value of your shares also grows. And that's what takes us to that value appreciation that you see here. That as the company grows, the value of your share increases, creating capital appreciation for your portfolio. I will also show you some of these as a practical example. So I want us to all concentrate when we get to the practical session, because I know the theory that I'm doing here may look a bit boring, but by the time I get to the practical session, you will get it more clearer. For those that are on TikTok watching me live, you may not be able to see the screen, but at the end of this session, we will be sharing the presentation on FinREMIT YouTube channel. So do us a favor by following our channel. This session is free. We are not charging you for it. So the only thing you are giving back to us is to support our communities. So you can follow the FinREMIT app on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and all other social media handles. Then the last one here, I said dividend returns. So many companies share profit with shareholders through regular dividend payment. And I've explained this as well, so I won't dwell much on it. So now, think of a company like Apple. Think of a company like Samsung. Take, for example, myself. I've been a good lover of Samsung. I use their mobiles. Virtually all my mobiles are Samsung. My big screen is Samsung. So if I'm using all of these Samsung and I don't have any shares in Samsung, then I'm just buying those things for another person to gain from me. So think of companies like Apple. You are using iPhone and you don't have a shares in Apple. You're not helping yourself. Tesla, Dangote Cement, MTN. You are using MTN and you are not buying, you don't have shares in MTN. It's unfair to yourself. So when you invest in these businesses, you are owing a part of their assets, and you can call yourself as part owner of shares or a part owners of Dangote. The only difference between you and Dangote is that is the majority shareholder, you are a minority shareholder. But both of you are shareholders. Last week, I got 2,000 something dividend from Stanbic IBTC, and I was like, oh, even if it is recharge card, I will buy it with this money. It's my return on my investment. This is what I'm calling you to come and enjoy with as little as 5,000 naira or £5, depending on which trading app you are using. Now, let me proceed on the presentation, because now I talked about savings versus investing, but I will not waste much time on this. So looking at features like return on investment, savings gives a low return on investment, 2 to 4%, but you can earn as much as 10 to 15% long-term stock return. And it's not only long-term. Imagine you putting £100 in a trading in a stock, and in February before October, you are already having maybe £14 extra. That is about 14% return. That is about 14% return, and it's still not a long term. But if I know of people who have invested about 50 to 60,000 pounds, And today they are talking about 300 to 200,000 pounds in their investment, in their portfolio, because they don't withdraw their dividend. They are running it back on and on and on. And some of them are buying long. They are not buying short. All of these I will explain to us, but it may not be in today's session, maybe next week. But today I want to make sure that almost all of us are ready to go. The second thing is activity. Your savings is always idle cash sitting in an account. So let me be sincere with us. If you are still struggling with having a savings, or you are not ready to keep a part of your income, then this class is still not for you. The reason why this session is for you is those that are just keeping their money in an idle savings account instead of making their savings work for them. And that is the difference between saving and investing. The reason why I decided to have this class is many of us have been waiting for when we would have 1 million to start our own business. Many of us have been waiting for when we would have 2 million naira or 100,000 pounds to start our own business. Meanwhile, we don't know that we can own part of existing business with as little as 5,000 or even 10 pounds. That is why I decided to say, let's begin to even cultivate that habit of investing within ourselves, an amount that we can really afford to lose, so that we would begin to know that this is how investment grows. So when you start your own business with that million that you are looking for, you can begin to now understand that business don't grow overnight. It is gradual. Inflation impact. Inflation affects savings. It doesn't affect investing. However, it doesn't mean that inflation does not also affect investment. It's just that it affects the company that you have invested in, but not directly your investment. However, it may tell on your return at the end, but it's not a direct impact on the purchasing power of your money. I will also teach us hedge investment when we go on. I will also teach us portfolio investment pies, portfolio pies, where you can invest just $5 or £5 into the top 500 companies in the whole world. You can invest S&P 500. You can hedge it and say, if inflation rate is changing or exchange rate is changing, my investment should not change. This thing is not difficult, so don't be afraid. All you need to do is just click on search, select that S&P, or you select Vanguard, or you select ETF, that's exchange trade fund, select it and click buy. You can buy just £5, you can buy just £20, and it will spread your money over tech companies, your automobile companies. It will spread it over the top 500 companies in US, and there is also S&P 100 for those in the UK. So don't bother yourself with which company should I invest on. It has been so easy that you can take advantage of some of these opportunities. Now, ownership. When you are investing, you take ownership. When you are saving, you only keep your money as asset. Now, risk level. Savings has a very low risk and is guaranteed. It's safe. Let's be sincere with ourselves. When you save your money with UBA Bank, GTB Bank, Polaris Bank, you put 2 million in that account, and you come back after 4 years, you can still go back and take your 2 million with maybe a penny that they have added to it. Possibility of losing your savings is not high. However, investing is having a moderate or high risk. You may lose part or the whole of your money, and that was why Mr. Jacob said you can be looking at it. I have also invested in forex before, that overnight you can lose your own money, especially if you don't put a stop or a limit to your trading. And you can also do that with stock as well, especially for some of you that may be coming in to say, I love taking risk, because if you don't take risk, you don't get a big return. So let me quickly skip and move on. Now, we are going into the tools now. Sorry. Now, so we are going into the tools now. So for Nigerians in the diaspora, so let me start with my people in the UK, and then I will move on to those in Nigeria. So Nigerians in diaspora, we will be using Trading 212 as a trading app for today's demonstration. So if you are in Nigeria, if you are a Nigerian and you are in the UK, and you have not heard of Trading 2Y2, we have a lot of them. We have eToro, we have Vanguard. The reason why some of the people in Nigeria may not be able to use some of these apps is that they ask for UK addresses or verification documentations like for their KYC or UK bank accounts. But the good news is that we have the version for Nigeria as well. So for those of you in the UK in this call today, please, you would be investing as low as £1 or £5 into it, and you can invest into 3 different accounts. So these are places where people make mistake when they are investing in trading 212. So there is the invest account, there is the ISA account, and there is the CFD account. So the invest account is the standard investment for long-term wealth building. So what I did in my own case is when I opened my trading 212, I did let me join with the phone I will be using to share my screen so that when it's time for that, I can share my screen to you. Okay, so I invested in I think my screen is gone now. Sorry, can you still see my screen?
We can't see your screen, sir.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
No.
No, sir.
No.
Maybe because I joined with a new phone. Let me. What about now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, thank you. So can you see savings versus investing? What can you see, Mr. Jacob?
We can only see you, sir.
Picture.
Only
Sir?
see you.
We
are
can't see
seeing
your
you.
screen yet, sir. So we can't see your screen. We're only seeing
Yeah, we can't see your screen, sir.
Okay, maybe I should stop sharing. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Can one of the hosts accept me in? Okay. Sorry, I think.
Is it playing now, sir?
Is it showing now?
Yes, coming up, sir.
Okay.
Showing
Yes,
now.
it's showing now.
Okay. Sorry about that, please.
Yeah, you can see it now.
Okay. And is it still recording? Okay, still recording. Sorry about that. I think I lost the host because I joined on the other device. Okay. I hope you saw the screen up to this stage, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
So let me move on. So like I said, for those that are going to be using Trading 212, there are 3 different accounts. We have the invest account, which is the regular invest account. So what I did when I opened it is I opened the invest account and I opened the ISA account. So the ISA account, like I said, for you in the UK, you have 20,000 tax-free allowance. So if you invest in the ISA account, every return you make from it, as long as your investment is not more than 20,000 for that year, then you are always assured that you are not paying tax from that income. However, in the invest one is the regular one. So what I do is I spread my money into the two, because the invest one gives is a long-term wealth building platform, while the ISA saves you from tax. But that is also adding some return. So if I have any extra to add, I always add it to my ISA, as long as it's not more than, I will show the example as well. Why the CFD? I don't recommend CFD for a starter, because CFD is more like a short trader that watches the trend and they buy per time. They could buy this morning and sell by afternoon. Take, for example, Nvidia share was crazy on Friday. It started very low and it jumped up so high by middle of the day. So a CFD or risk trader can buy Nvidia in the morning and then sell it in the afternoon. Nvidia is one of the AI powered companies. They are top IT techs companies. And also, I also noticed that the S&P UK 100 also traded very well yesterday. So people that are trading short just to make immediate return is good for those doing it as full time, but it requires them monitoring the trade, doing a critical technical analysis. So let me quickly differentiate between fundamental and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is like hearing news in CNN, and then you get to your trading platform and you discover that that company's trade is beginning to fall, shares is beginning to fall. Similar thing happens to Tesla. When when they were having issues with in the US and the likes, that people were returning their Tesla, and they said the moment that news struck the internet, the share of Tesla began to drop. When US government also made announcements about tariff, import, and the likes, you begin to see it telling in the shares of some of the US companies as well. So when you are looking at the news to determine the trend of your stock, then you are using a fundamental analysis. But technical analysis is when you look at the trend, how the trade is moving, and you decided to follow that trend and say it has never risen beyond this point. So let me go and place a trade above that point. So whenever it breaks this point, then that means that stock is very strong now. Then it will go forever. So you can buy at that spot, they call it buy limit. So you buy above the present price, and then when it's struck beyond that, then you start making serious money. Those ones is technical. And some people use this triangle. They said it has never fallen below this, it has never risen below this, so let me make a triangle. If it increases beyond this, then it will go up. If it falls beyond this, then it will go down. They will now put a stop below and said buy, sell when it goes beyond this, then buy when it, so they put it at the two top. Those people are called technical traders. So if you are using a CFD account or you are trying to trade as a full-time stock trader, these are what brokers does anyways, then you can begin to say, okay, let me do it. But if you want your money to just be working for you, I advise investment account and ISA account for those that are using trading 212. And now to my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, I use Bamboo, and I use trading 212 for UK and US or global stock, because with trading 212 you can invest in Japan stock, you can invest in many other stock, even other European stocks, rather not only UK stock and US. But with Bamboo, you can invest in Nigeria stock and also US stock. I think there are other ones like iVest, PiggyVest, and the like. Please, but I need to give a caveat here. This session is not to recommend, I'm not advising anyone to use a particular app. I'm only saying what I'm using. So it's not an introduction that you must use this app. You may decide to go for any other ones. But what I'm only telling us in this session is education and sensitization about investing, not a financial advice to go and invest so that you don't misquote my message. My message is to sensitize you, educate you that you can invest in stocks of company, but I'm not giving a final advice. But it's something that I do, and it's something that a lot of other people do. In fact, on Trading 212 on Bamboo, you can even invest in the stock of Warren Buffett. So you can go to Warren Buffett and see all the stocks he has invested in, and you decide to say, okay, let me also be like him, and you buy from him as well. So this is not what I do as Tope Amujo. This is what multi-million investors do, and I'm calling you to also be part of them. And I'm doing this for free as part of our own mandate at FinPower and FinREMIT to empower people. So now on Bamboo, I think that caveat is understood, that I'm not recommending, I'm only saying what I do. I use Bamboo, and I can buy shares in Nigeria. The reason why I do Bamboo is it allows me to buy MTN share, Dangote, Lafarge. I bought Lafarge recently. I will also try and share one of my Bamboo accounts with you to see how it also work. So I want to see whether we should allow people to react now, or ask questions, so that I will not just be bombarding us with talks that is not making any sense or any impact before I go to the next slide. Any question? Any comments, good or bad? Then if you are enjoying the session or you are catching it, maybe you just make a comment and say that we are good to go.
We are good to go, sir.
Okay, brilliant. So now, Mr. Taye and Miss Naomi, you can share the Bamboo link on the chat, where people can invest in Bamboo, can download the Bamboo app. But I think most of my team in Amugod has already downloaded the Bamboo app. So because we'll be going deeper now, and I will need to start sharing my screen anytime soon. But do us a favor, FinREMIT is a financial education app where we provide supports like this. So you can also book a one-to-one session with us. For some of you that may not be able to get everything that we are doing now, and some of you may not be able to catch up in the speed at which we are going. So you can download the FinREMIT app on Android, sign up and book a one-to-one session. And you can also watch the replay of some of these videos. So the replay of this session will be on our Learn module. So just click on Learn, and you can go to the videos and watch various educative financial videos that you can play back at your own pace. So do us a favor by downloading FinREMIT app on Android, and then you can follow us on Facebook. We have a group, and we also have the page, and you can also follow us on Instagram. You can screenshot these to do, and if you want to do it now, which we would appreciate, you can also do that now. That is what you are doing to support us, and we'll be able to do more of these. Now, so let's take the next 5 minutes to begin to download, because we are going to practical now. Like I said, I don't want this session to be the normal theoretical session. It's a simple thing that you just have to understand, that you are going into a market to buy the shares of companies, and you want to become part owners of those companies. This is more like a secondary market. I don't want to talk jargons. So I just want to go straight to the point. There is a primary market, primary stock market, and there is secondary stock market. The primary stock market is initial offer. That's the first time the company is issuing their shares, or the first time they are issuing that particular share, like the one Dangote GTB did when they were doing the capitalization, and most banks did. So that is primary. Like you are buying a virgin share that has never been bought by anybody. So you are the first time buyer. The secondary is the one that is existing, then you are buying and another person is selling. So these ones that you are going into is more like the secondary stock market. So I think that is clear. I don't want to use jargon, but I would try and manage it if at all I do use any jargon. So I don't know, Ms. Naomi and Mr. Wale and Taye and Mr. Mayowa, are you able to share the link for people to download? For those in the UK, you can download Trading 212 or eToro or whatever you feel like. However, there is a caveat as well. At the end of my session, I put a caveat to when you are making a decision of any of the broker, be very careful. Make sure that you are making a decision of those you have did your due diligence. You search if they are regulated and the likes and the likes. So I have a slide for that as well. At the end of this session, I will see if I can put my slide on seller page so you can download the slide and also go through the slide one after the other in case you miss any of the parts of our slide. So Mr. Taye and Mr. Mayowa, can you confirm if you have shared the screen? I will not want to wait for so many people, but for those that have downloaded before, then I would like to use them as an example. But for those that have not downloaded, I would at this point start to share my screen so you can continue to do your download. So this is the time for demo. So I will be, okay, Mr. Tokwe, son, you have your hands up. Please go ahead,
Yeah,
sir. You can unmute
yeah.
yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. I tried to download that FinREMIT and it's not on. I couldn't download it because I searched for it on the Google Play Store. It's
Okay,
not coming up.
are you
But I
on
have,
Android?
yes, smart Samsung.
Samsung, okay. You should have it. Just search for FinREMIT, all written together, no space.
Yeah, that's what I did. But let me try again then.
Yes. However, I can also drop the link to the FinREMIT Play Store link for you to download.
Okay.
Yes. But if you are unable to do that now, I think you can also take your time to do it later. But
All
we
right.
will share the link to download FinREMIT maybe as a follow-up email to everyone
All right.
after
Thank
this
you.
session. Yes. I think I can see it here. So I will try and share the
I
link
don't know
with
what
you.
happened there. Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, so now let's go straight into demo. I will start with my Naija people. So I will be demonstrating bamboo first. So let's go straight into bamboo. Before the demo, should I share? Okay, I think I can share that later. So I will be, we'll see if we can allow multiple. Okay, I'm trying to share my screen now. Share entire screen. Okay. Share entire screen. Okay, so can you see my other screen?
Yes.
Okay. So bamboo is the one that has these okay, so this is one of my bamboo accounts. So I would be sharing these for you to see. So now this account is showing that the total wealth in that account is 307. So this 307,000 naira is telling us that both the principal and the dividend and the interest or whatever has accumulated to 307. But there is a way you can check that, okay, how much actually was added into this account. So there is a way you can check that. So if you look at this now, you can see that the total money added is when you had the wallet has 21,000. I bought Treasury bill, and I think I would explain this also to us. Treasury bill is one of the, okay, if there are shares, bond, and then Treasury bills. Shares is when you are buying part ownership of a company. It's more like a commercial paper. It's more like equity, buying into the equity. Bond is long-term debt instrument that some government issue. So government may want to build road or they may want to do an infrastructure, and they felt like, okay, let's invite the public to come and buy into a bond, their bond. So we have bond on all of these apps too, especially those on Trading 212. I will show it to us when we get there. So, but Treasury bill is depending on your risk nature. A Treasury bill is a short-term investment instrument that you use, you borrow the government of your country, and you say, I borrow you 100,000 as my government. Go and use it to do whatever you want to do. Then you pay me back an interest. So I decided to, you may decide to buy Treasury bill, you may decide to buy shares. So if you look at it here, on Bamboo, you can buy either, you can buy, let me see if I can use a note to write on the screen. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, so I know you can see Treasury bill. So I click on Treasury bill now. I bought this Treasury bill on, is a 80 days Treasury bill, and this will be due now in 38 days left. So I bought this Treasury bill at 100,000 naira, and then it's going to be crediting my account back with 3,335 as extra to that 100,000. So instead of that 100,000 just sitting in a savings account, that 100,000 is now with the government of Nigeria. And one good thing with Treasury bill is that if you are able to download your Treasury certificates, you can go and trade it in the money market. What is a money market? You can take your Treasury bill to a bank and tell them, I have 100,000 with the federal government of Nigeria. And after 80 days, they are going to give me 103,000. I'm giving you, this bank, my Treasury certificate. Give me 102,000. I can't wait for the next 38 days, because look at my own here now. Is in 38 days, they will drop that money. So if I had invested 1 million naira, I will be getting about 30-something thousand. If I had invested 10 million naira, I will be getting about 300 and something thousand. So I have advised people that had idle fund, some up to 15-20 million, and you won't be surprised that the money that these people are getting after three months is about 600,000 plus, which means every month they can be getting 200,000 as kind of money coming from their Treasury bill. You can buy Treasury bill on your app, and you can also decide to buy Treasury bill from your bank. You just approach your bank and said, please, I want to buy Treasury bill or money market fund or money market instrument, which is the government instrument, and then you buy it, you get the share certificate, Treasury certificate, and you are good to go. So this is number one. You can do that on Bamboo. And the good news is when you click on Treasury bill, you just type find new Treasury bill, and these are the three options. Please, I want to be sure you are seeing my screen. If you are not, please let me know. So you can pick the 89 days, you can pick the 180 days, and you can pick the 364 days. The 364 days, these are just instruments that are within 12 months. But the moment it is more than 12 months, it's no longer a Treasury bill. It is more like a Treasury certificate or a bond, because bonds are always long-term commercial instruments that takes maturity beyond 12 months. So that is why you can see that this one, the highest you can buy for Treasury bill is 364 days. I bought 89 days, which is the one on top. And that's why the return on that money is just 3,000. So if you want to take a longer risk and say, I don't need this money, especially for some of us in the diaspora that we used to transfer our money back home, we can decide to call our banker and say, I have 10 million in this account. I want to use it for a business in the next 3 years, and the business is not, the money is not up to what I needed now. Please, I want to put this money in a Treasury bill. A Treasury bill is even still different from a fixed deposit. A fixed deposit is with your banker. It's the banker that is using it to trade. But a Treasury bill is with the government. The disadvantage of fixed deposit is that you have the money with your banker, you cannot trade it in the money market. But Treasury bill, you have it with the government, and you can trade your certificate with the money market, which means that you can take the certificate to any bank and they give you money because they see it as a valuable instrument. It's more like a check. The only difference is not a legal tender, but it's just a commercial instrument that you can trade. So I think that is clear for Treasury bill. The next thing you can do on Bamboo is you can buy shares of different companies. So here I have bought shares of 182,390 from different companies. So I click on this now. If you look at it very well, under this money, under this 182,390, you will see 7,110. And you see 4.05%. This means that this 182,390 increased to this figure. This is not the actual money that I invested. So, and there is a way you can also check the history. I will also show you how you can check your history. So now these are the stocks that I bought. I bought Lafarge Cement, which is WAPCO. I bought Lafarge, so I clicked on Lafarge now. Now look at it. I bought 101 value of Lafarge at 129 per shares, and I bought 700 units. But if you look at when I bought the 700 units, it is 90,300 that I spent. But now it is valued at 101,500. And this was bought this month. So which implies that if I invest in shares, I make quick return than when I invest in Treasury bill. Remember, I said I invest Treasury bill for 80 days and it's just going to give us 3,300 and something. I'm explaining this to us because when I get to the slide where I will be showing you risk nature, you will notice that if you are a risk averser, somebody that is afraid, hey, I don't want to lose my money, oh, the company may fail, oh, the company may crash down, oh, you can do Treasury bill. But your return will be lesser. Because look at it, on the October 8th, I bought 700 units of Lafarge Cement. And why did I buy Lafarge? I noticed that Lafarge, the real sector of Nigeria, that's the real estate sector, was growing. And I was monitoring Dangote Cement. So while I was monitoring Dangote Cement, I noticed that Dangote Cement was about 600, and let me go back a bit and show you Dangote. Now look at Dangote Cement down. A share of Dangote Cement is 665 naira. And I was watching the trend of, let's quickly look at the trend. This is the trend of Dangote Cement in 1 week. You can see that it was going up drastically. The next thing I did is that, okay, which other cement company do we have in Nigeria? I went to check Lafarge. Look at the trend of Lafarge. The same growth rate with Dangote. So somebody that owns Dangote and myself that own Lafarge, we are growing at the same rate. The person that will want to buy Dangote needs 600 and something naira to buy one share. But me, I need 145 naira to buy one share of Lafarge. That was why I decided to go for Lafarge. I bought 90,300, which is 700 units, and it has now grown to 101,500. Now, compare with Treasury bill, this has given a significant return in less than 1 month. Unlike a Treasury bill that was 90 days, about 3 months, and it's going to give us just 3,000. So if this continues like this in this trend, it means there is the possibility of this money growing faster, like ×2 or ×3 than the Treasury bill that I gave with the government. But the fear is that I may wake up tomorrow and this trend of Lafarge will start coming down. As soon as it starts coming down, then the money, the value of my shares there also start dropping. I hope this is clear.
Very well, sir.
Thank you. So now, let's go back. I also bought First Bank Holdings. I wanted to do a bank because I already had a direct GTB shares. So I felt, okay, let me do First Bank Holding. So on First Bank Holding, look at what happened. You saw the one of Lafarge the other time. that it was going up straight for 1 week. This is a 1 week trend. You can check the 1 month. You can click 1 month. This is 1 month trend. This is 3 month trend. So now look at this. This is an example. I want Mr. Tayo to see the screen now. That this is what your friend was saying then, that you may lose your money. You may it's risky. Look at First Bank. First Bank grew up to a point. At this point, that's 34 naira, and now it has dropped to 32 naira. So in 1 week, I wasn't making a good return from Dangote, from First Bank. And this is going to either be a fundamental issue because something will have happened that makes the share of First Bank to start dropping. So that is the reason why some of us will begin. But the truth about it is, let's go and look at the 3 years or 5 years of First Bank and see whether, if I'm to look at the next 5 years, I should be fearful or not. So I click on 5 years. So look at 5 years. So what it implies is that for 5 years, First Bank has dropped, but it started increasing and it has increased up to where it is today. So I have nothing to be afraid of because in the next 5 years, my money is still secured. Now, I forgot to mention something on Lafarge. If I am comfortable with the amount that I have made on Lafarge, this 101,500, because I invested 90,000 and it's now 101,500, which is about 10,200. I have had extra 10,200 in less than 1 month. I can sell it. So I will just click sell and then sell it off. That makes me a short-term investor. I am not interested in holding Lafarge shares for long period. I just want to hold it for short. And now that it has made the return, before it starts falling again, let me sell it off. So these are what some people does as well. So now in my stock, I have invested in 3 stocks. 2 of the stocks is about to drop. Lafarge is already planning to start dropping, and then First Bank is already dropping. But the third one, which is Nigerian Brewery, that sells malt and the likes, Nigerian Brewery dropped and may start rising again. You can see the trend of Nigerian Brewery. So what have I done? Having 3 shares, it means I have diversified. I have diversified my investment into different portfolios. So if one is dropping, the other will start rising. And how do you buy a new shares? You just click on this, then you pick the company that you are interested in. This is Airtel. Airtel is 2,300 per shares. And Access Bank, let's take, for example, I'm buying into Access Bank. Look at this now. Despite the fact that First Bank is dropping, Access Bank dropped last week and they have started rising back. I can see that, Access Bank may have a potential. Let me see their 1 month. Look at it. So I can decide to say, okay, when Access Bank, it got to this price, Access Bank got to 25.45 and it fell down significantly. I may decide to say, buy these shares back when it gets to this price, 25.45. I can say, okay, when it increases a bit from 25.45, buy it. Because it means that totally, if it can break this point, then it will continue rising. All you do is just buy. So what have I done? I've just done a technical analysis. I did not look at any news. I did not watch anything that is making First Bank to rise. I just decided to look at this trend and say, it's already rising. If it can rise beyond this, that's a ceiling. It will break that ceiling and it will keep rising. I can now say buy. I will now say, okay, there are 3 options to buy. You can either buy now, which means I want to take the risk. Whether it starts coming down or not, I know that it's already going up. Let me just take advantage. So let me buy now. How much am I buying now? Let me just buy number of shares. Let me buy 100 shares of Dangote, 100 shares of Access Bank. That 100 shares is just 2,500 naira. I may feel like, okay, let me invest up to 5,000 naira. I turn it to 200 shares. So this evening, as we are doing this training, though the market is closed, this is another information. This market works with the SEC. That's the Security Exchange Commission's trading. SEC is the regulatory body. The trading house, that's the Nigerian Stock Exchange market. So it works with the trading session. So the trading session opens Monday to Friday, but you can still, using this app, trade ahead of the opening of market on Monday. So the market is closed now, but I can go ahead to make my order. So I want to buy 200 shares in Access Bank. So you can see that in my wallet, I already have 21,000 that I have not invested. So this 21,000 will not add any money to me. So it doesn't make any sense keeping it in the wallet. The wallet is just like a typical saving account in other banks. So you just click, okay, I'm using my wallet, review. So it's now asking me that I want to buy Access Bank shares, 200 units at 25 naira per share. And the estimated amount I'm going to spend is 5,000. This app will charge me 83 naira 87 kobo. That's their own commission. And then I can say place order. So it says market is currently closed. Your order will be executed at market price when the market reopen by 9:10 a.m. Monday, Greenwich Meridian time. New order can be cancelled until 5 minutes before market opening. I can say continue, and then he's already sending my order. And before I know, it will take 5,000 from my wallet, and it will go and place it as a pending order in the Nigerian Stock Exchange market. Your order is submitted. Your buy market order was successfully submitted. So this one that I did is an instant buying. This is instant buying. And if you look at my wallet now, it's now 16,000, no longer 20-something thousand. But it has not been added to my stock value. My Nigerian stock investment is still the same 182. So by Monday, when it now execute that trade, it will add it up. The second option of buying is, let me still go. Now you can see that Access Bank is now in pending order. 200 shares in Access Bank. So what am I saying? This is a practical illustration to you that with just 5,000 naira, by tomorrow, Monday morning, you start calling yourself a shareholder in Access Bank. So this is a simple way to start having an investor mentality. The reason why I'm doing all of this is that there are bigger opportunities ahead that FinREMIT will be announcing to you that is opportune to be in this community. We already have your details submitted to us. We will let you know as soon as those opportunity comes. But you need to start having that investment mentality with small money now. 5,000 naira, you are now an investor. I can see some comments. I don't know if it requires my attention, but I will try and see. I will check that immediately I'm done with this before we go to trading 212. So now let me now do a pending a stop buying. Like I will still use the same Access Bank. Now, you know, I told you that Access Bank, let's use 1 month. So I said I looked at 1 month history of Access Bank and I see that it started falling drastically at 25.45. I now felt, okay, there was a time it got to 26.15 before it comes down. But the highest it reached was 26.15. I can decide to stay between that and say when it is 25.45, which is the highest before it came down and now it's going up, I can now say, okay, let me buy it when it is higher than 25.45, but don't buy it now. The one I did earlier is instant. Assuming the market is open, it will immediately start trading that straight away. But because it's a Sunday evening, that is why I can't do it immediately. So now let me now buy for future that I can now do what we call buy limit or stop order. So limit order is that you buy this stock at a price below the current market price. That is when I project that with the news I'm hearing, or with the trend I have checked, when Access Bank share fall below this price that it has fallen, then it will start rising again. Let me buy it now. That is a limit order. Then a stop order is buy this stock at a price above the current market price. It's a way to catch a stock on the way up. So if you don't understand what this is saying on the app, this is why we're educating you with it. What this means is that Access Bank is presently at 23 point something, but I am envisaging that when it gets to 24.40 something and it breaks that ceiling, it will start going up because it has been up before. Then I will do a stop order. So I can say a stop order at 25. Let me go back again and see. Is 25.45. That is my target. So I will now say buy at 25.50 something. I want it to break that ceiling. I don't want it to buy it at that same price. So I now say buy at 25.75. Then proceed. You ask me how many units do I want to buy? Let's buy the same 200 units. So you can look at it now that 200 units that I bought now was 5,000 naira because I'm buying it at the present price. But if I want to buy it later, if the price further increased to 25.75, I'm going to be paying 5,150. So what does that imply? I'm buying it in the future, but somebody may buy now at 5,000, and in the next 2 days, if he felt that it's going to increase to this point, he can say sell. If it increased up to this point, that means I've made 150 naira from my 5,000 naira maybe in 2 or 3 days. But like I said, that is a kind of a speculative trading. It's not for wealth building. But for wealth builder, you just buy it and then you go and sleep. The truth is that you cannot lose money from reputable organizations like First Bank, Coca-Cola, MTN. You know that these guys are big boys. Although it doesn't mean that you can't lose your money. I still keep saying that. So let me say now, review this order, then place this order. Continue. I want to quickly ask, am I confusing us or is getting too technical?
You are making very great points, sir.
Okay. And now this has been submitted. So can somebody tell me the difference between, okay, now it has reduced my wealth because that pending order has to go and deduct some money ahead. But the moment the trade is placed, because a pending order is taken from my wealth, assuming that, okay, it is the app that will execute that trade on that future date. That's why it's taking away my wealth now. That, okay, I will go and keep this money ahead for you. But when I did the one that is direct and is going to open tomorrow, it did not touch my wealth yet. So can somebody explain the difference? What will happen to my investment that I made today and what will happen to the one that I made to take place when the price gets to a certain level? If the price does not get to that level, what will happen? I want to test our understanding. Okay, over to you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yeah, it means that it won't start trading. You won't have any what do I call it now? Interest or any what do I call it? You won't add more. Like if the one you have started just now, to me it sounds like from tomorrow, if there is any increase in that stock, your money also will start increasing.
Good.
Even if it is 1 naira, if it is 5 pen,
Yes,
it will keep increasing. But the one you've placed for future will not start trading, and you won't have any investment return. Yeah. On that one until it starts at the price you put on that app.
Brilliant.
I don't know if I'm correct.
Yeah, you are very right. It will not start trading. So it's like I'm keeping that 5,150 until the price gets to that level. However, I forgot to tell us that there is an expiry. You can always set an expiry. Let me see if I can quickly show us that. So you can set an expiry that says, okay, if this price does not get to that value after so day, you can see now that I have 2 shares of Access Bank on my pending. So now, if, let me say, buy more of assets, buy in the future. Let me see. Okay, look at it. Set expiry. So set expiry date. So if I uncheck this one, then this will expire, I think, after 4 or 5 days. I can't say. So I can set expiry, and then if it doesn't get to that level, then it will return my money back. But the disadvantage is that if it did not get to that level for 10 days, that my money will still be on hold, while the one that I did instantly will be making money for me. So the disadvantage is I'm speculating. So I am the one losing because of that speculation. So if you don't want to speculate and you are sure that the trend is already going up, you can buy straight away. But don't bother yourself with whether it's going up or it's coming down. Just look at a stock that you know that is doing well, or your passion goes for. You may decide to say that I've been using MTN since 2000 of when they came to Nigeria. I want to even own part of their shares. That is an empathy that you felt that you have been spending, you have been buying recharge card, buying data for MTN. Let me even start making money from them. Then you just go there, search for MTN, and then you are good to go. So when you want to do that, you go to feature stock, and then you can search here and say MTN. This is MTN. So MTN is 515 and it's doing well. So you can click on it and see, oh, MTN has been growing fast since the whole of this week. Let's check 1 month. 1 month, MTN is growing. Let's see 3 months. Wow, 3 months, MTN is growing. Me, as a Olojukokoro, I can decide to say, let me also buy small MTN. I can buy, MTN is very expensive. So when I do 200 pieces of MTN, 200 units of shares in MTN is 103,000. Meanwhile, 200 units of shares in First Bank is 5,000 naira. So that is why you can always buy any quantity. So let's just do 100 shares. 100 is too much. Okay, let's do 50. 50 is 25,000. So the money in my wallet is just 11,000. So let's do 20, which is 10,300. So we're buying 20 shares in MTN. Review this order, then place order. Continue. So just this night, I've invested 20-something thousand naira, and I can just keep my phone. I will go to Trading 212 now and also show you one of my accounts. Now, I may decide to use another account that has money. Like, oh, I felt that MTN that I saw now is really attractive, and I wanted to have more of that. I may decide to say, okay, I want to buy more of MTN. You can decide to buy it with another account, and then you move on with that. However, I think you also need to be careful when you are investing. Don't be too over speculative that this stock is doing well, let me just pump all my money into it. But it's better you diversify. So as it is now, I'm having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks that is on pen. 3 is active, 3 is pending. So by Monday, I will be having 200 shares in Access Bank, and when the price rises to a certain level, I will be having another 200 shares in Access Bank. And if it doesn't, I can go and stop it anytime soon. And by Monday morning, I'll be having 20 shares in MTN. And when I get to office with my colleague, I can tell them I'm now a shareholder in MTN. That does not mean it doesn't matter the quantity. A shareholder is a shareholder. So that is just a quick explanation of Bamboo. The last one is you can buy US stock from Bamboo, and I will be dropping Bamboo after this. So now I told you about Warren Buffett. I told you about big investors like FK Portfolio. These FK, there are people, Nancy Pelosi's. So you can decide to say, okay, you want to see where big investors are putting their money. Many of us knows Warren Buffett. These are the stocks in the portfolio of one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett. So let's see what he has invested his money on. So Warren Buffett has shares in Apple, Chartered Communication INC, Stoneco, Restorian, US Bancorp, Floor and Deco Holdings, United Parcel Service, that's UPS, General Motors, MasterCard, Marsh, Davita. So look at all the places that Warren Buffett had shares in. So if I also want to be like him, that Warren Buffett is one of the richest man in the world, though, let me also follow his trend of wealth building. I can just go to Warren Buffett and see the things that he has invested in, and then I can buy from his stock. So if I say buy stock, the difference is if I click on buy stock now, I am from Nigeria. I'm assuming that I'm in Nigeria now with this Bamboo app. So from Nigeria, I can click on Warren Buffett stock. He has already populated it. Then I can buy straight. But the only difference is that you need to use a card. So the good thing that Paystack has done is, I said Paystack. The good thing that Bamboo has done is that they have connected with Paystack, Flutterwave, and some payment system that can debit your Naira account and convert it to dollar. So let me say, for example, Netflix. Many of us watch Netflix because I may not be able to do Warren Buffett stock today. So many of us do Netflix. So Netflix, one shares in Netflix is $1,093. But when I checked at Netflix, I was telling somebody recently that Netflix is dropping in 1 week. Let's see 1 month of Netflix. I think the market is closed. It's not okay. No, look at 1 month of Netflix. So something is happening to Netflix. So this is a signal that is either there is a technical news or a technical signal or a fundamental news about Netflix, or people are no longer using Netflix anymore because of the new trend of YouTube movies that are now taking over. So that could be the reason why Netflix is dropping. But that does not mean you cannot invest in it, because if you look at their 5 years trend, look at it. So if you are a long-time investor and say, I don't worry, I don't mind, Netflix, look at it. In the last 5 years, Netflix has grown by 134%. That is, last 5 years, it was just about $400 and something per share, but it has increased by 637. So imagine somebody that bought 1,000 shares of Netflix 5 years ago. That would be like $400,000. By today, that person will be having $1 million in his account. 5 years different. This is how wealth is built. Long-term investment. So trading in stock is not for immediate gain. Yes, some of us may make that immediate gain if that's our focus, but it is actually the long trend of it. So let me say, okay, I want to also buy a little bit of Netflix. Then you click yes, proceed. Then it says enter maximum price per share. Okay, this is the price. Then how many units? Because their shares is very expensive, I may just buy 0.1. Oh, I'm buying. Sorry, please. So I may just buy a very small unit, but let's see if they have a minimum. When you place another blah, blah, blah. Zero, where is the 0 point? Okay, I need to first add money. I don't have money in my dollar account here. Okay, so let me leave this for now and go to trading 212. What I did was deliberately I did not invest in US stock in my Bamboo because I have already invested in some US and UK and Europe stock in my trading 212. But I can also show us how we can invest in US stock maybe in the next class. So I will show us how to credit your account and the like so that I don't waste much time on Bamboo. So now let me quickly ask if we have any question from us before we go back to trading 212. Or has anybody done any magic? Does anybody do anything that you would like to share with us? Quickly in 2 minutes before I go back to...
Thank you very much, sir, for the lecture. I just have a question, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and my question is that when we sell, like you showed us the examples in your investment as regards the Lafarge cement.
Okay.
When you sell, will the money be added to the wallet immediately?
Yes.
Or okay.
When the market is active. You know, you are selling. Okay, that you fẹ́ tajà, tọ́jà ò tí wọ́n táwọn tó ń tajà ò sí lọ́jà. So the moment it is Monday morning and the market is active, then they will remove it from my Lafarge, and then the money goes to my wallet, and I can withdraw the money from my wallet into my normal bank in UBA, Access Bank, GTB, and start spending it.
Or you reinvest, sir.
Or I can reinvest. Thank you. I may sell it from Lafarge and invest it in Dangote, or sell it from Lafarge and invest it in MTN.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, do we have any other question or any contribution? Is anyone confused? Is anyone confused?
I don't think.
I have a question. I'm raising my hand up.
Oh, please go ahead. I'm sorry I can't see screen. Mr. Taye and Naomi, please help me coordinate people raising their hand, please.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Really appreciate this lecture. It's an eye-opener. I just want to ask some questions. Like 15, 18 years ago, I bought like 5 shares from different companies, especially Dangote, First Bank, Union Bank.
Okay.
But up to now, I did not receive any share. So I don't know whether there is any advice that can be given, because that really frustrated me and put me off buying shares.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma. When you bought your shares 5 years ago, did you buy through a registrar or through a stockbroker? Is it a primary or okay, let me not make it a technical word. Did you use a stockbroker, or you bought when the share was announced?
Yeah, I bought the shares when they were announced, like the Dangote Zone and even the Union and First Bank.
Did they send you any letter, ma?
Yeah, I have the certificates at home.
Okay.
But I did not receive shares for almost 15 years now.
Okay. Now, this is what happened at a point, because I remember when I bought the Stanbic IBTC myself, and when I bought the Stanbic,
also.
yeah, there was a time in 2015 or 2019 or thereabout that they digitized the stock market. So they asked everyone to digitize their certificates. So when you digitize your certificate, they will give you CSCS account and number. Then you will now be able to receive your return electronically. Because as it is now, then they used to send dividend slip that you now go and credit to your bank. But now you just receive an alert. So what I would do is maybe I will have a one-to-one session with you. So all the certificate that you have, there is a way we can go to the SEC website to check. There is unclaimed dividends that always accumulate in the stock market. So your name will definitely be there as an unclaimed dividend.
Okay.
So we can retrieve some of it for you. But if your unclaimed dividend has now gone into something that you cannot claim again, we would now, your shares is still valid. So what we cannot do is just digitize your share, and then you register, you had your bank account. You must have received an email when that happened.
I didn't receive anything. They said I should come to one bank. I went to one of the union. They said they're going to combine all the certificates together, but I didn't receive any CSCS number.
Okay, so
Whatever.
what I will do is I will have a one-to-one session with you, and I will help you convert all your share certificate into the digital one, and then we'll
Okay.
see if we can sign up for you with the
Alright.
digital security stock exchange market
Thank you.
profile. Yeah, but
Thank
don't
you.
be afraid. Is not lost.
Alright.
Yeah, it's not lost.
Thank you.
So, do we have any other comments? Any question? Okay, thank you, Mr. Oluwatosin. Thank you so much for this great and eye-opener training. I can't believe having this such training for free. God bless you greatly. Okay, amen. Okay, so now,
Right, so we have 2 hands up, sir.
okay, Mr.
We
Taye,
have 3 now.
call them out.
Mr.
Call them out.
Godwin. Mr. Godwin, you can go ahead, sir. Thereafter, we have Mr. Raphael Jacob, then Mr. Mayowa.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
You're
for.
welcome, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this lectures. Thank you, sir. I have the same what happened to the last speaker was also that was also happened to me. I bought shares during this Omega Bank. They gave me the certificate after the merger. They changed the name to another bank. Up to now, I've not heard anything about it again, except the certificate that was given to me then. When I was that Omega Bank at Taiwoki, then I bought it through the bank directly.
Okay, does the bank has a merger with another bank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if there is a merger, take for example, if when I bought Stanbic IBTC, it was before they had their mergers and the like. So if you have, for example, you have a bank, a shares in Intercontinental Bank, and they did a merger with Access Bank, automatically you have a shares in Access Bank. So all we need to do is identify your registrar, and then we would now see how we can also digitize your account and see possibly if we can recover it. If not otherwise, then we may need to write to the registrar. So what we'll do is we'll Google now who is the registrar to Omega, which bank did they merge with, and then we would. So I would also need to have a one-to-one with you as well to see how we can solve that. So I will have that as 2 people to do their share retrieval for. Mrs. Naomi, please let me take note of it. Mr. Godwin Are and Mrs. Omolara Alago to retrieve their shares details. Mr. Taye, you can continue, sir.
So we have Mr. Raphael Jacob as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. My question is, if I have a share with GT Bank or Access Bank, will I be receiving a certificate for the shares from the bank, from Bamboo Weather?
This one, hello, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if you get my question, sir.
Yeah, I get your question that will you have a share certificate? Because you are buying a piece of their shares, is not the official, is not the how do I put it? It's not the direct purchase from them, because they can't be issuing shares. They don't know whether by tomorrow morning you may sell it again. So it will be so difficult for them. Like they have make it easy for you to buy now, sell tomorrow. So if they want to be giving shares, I buy now, I sell the next 3 hours, maybe by tomorrow again, I buy another one, they send shares. So it will be so complicated. So when you are buying through this broker, they digitize in a manner that you don't need to be having shares every time, because it is not really the direct purchase from the bank or their registrar, as the case may be. But anything you do here is reflecting in the central registrar account. Every companies in the stock market has a registrar. So, like we have First Registrar, we have Coronation, we have a lot of registrar. So we can Google them. You can use ChatGPT to pop them up and say who are the listed companies in Nigerian stock market and who are their registrar. So when you do that, you see them. In fact, these Omega and the likes too, we can also do that. You see their registrar. So you will be included for that period. But the moment you sell, you will be delisted as an investor. If you buy again tomorrow, so the direct answer to your question is no. You won't be getting shares for your certificate for your shares when you buy on these stock on these brokerage apps, because you are not buying long. So as the case may be, even if you are buying long sometimes, you may also not be able to get a certificate. However, for treasury bills, bonds, and other long-term instruments, you may have a place to download your certificate, like iVest. iVest, if you do treasury bill with iVest, there is a place to download, and they will send the certificate straight to your email account.
All right, thanks so much, sir. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, we also have Mr. Mayowa.
Okay, thanks so much,
Mayowa, go
sir.
ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Tai. My question is somehow like that of Mr. Jacob, but it will be different. And
Okay.
the question is, in case I have a share in a company, I mean, when they were sharing it Virgin, so is it possible I merge merge it with the Bamboo app? Because I don't have initial stockbroker. Can I merge it to Bamboo so I can easily track what's going on it? Thank you.
Have you digitized it before?
I actually got it through the bank app then, and I've not done any other thing.
Okay. Are you receiving dividend from it now?
Yes, I've received once.
Okay. Is the dividend a slip or direct to your bank?
Direct to my bank.
So that means you have a digital stock account. So if you have a digital stock account, then you will need to identify who is the present broker. So if the present broker is listed into the fintech sandbox, that's the CBN sandbox, then you can migrate an existing into it. But if they are not listed in the CBN sandbox, you cannot migrate. So I think let me check if I can see it on Bamboo. On Bamboo, you should see a place where they will say move your previous account to us. Let me see. I think there is a place where you can move. Yeah, I will help you check, Mr. Mayowa. But I think there is a place, whether on Bamboo or on my other app, that you can move your existing stock into Bamboo. Yeah, into that trading app. Let me check if it's trading 212. Mr. Mayowa, let me get back to you and see if it's possible. But the first thing that we need to do is to identify your present broker. So if your present broker is on the digital sandbox, then we can request to move from them to Bamboo. That is, if they don't have a app. But there's possibility that your present broker also have an app. You just download their own app and you go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. So anyone, Mr. Wali, before we move on?
Yeah, we still have Mr. Olawale's hands up, then Mr. Rafael Jacob too. But before Mr. Olawale, Mrs. Olufunke asked a question in the message group, and she said, "Thank you very much for this opportunity. Sir, what happened if share was bought from a sector and they closed down? I heard treasury bill can be paid by central bank. If true, is this applicable to stock market?" That's
Okay.
our question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. That I buy shares in a company and the share closed down and the company closed down. Am I correct? then the
Yes.
shares is still, and I have a share with them already. So what happens to your investment? So like I said, there is NDIC. This is exactly what happens to your money when a bank closes down. So there is when you are setting up with any broker, you must make sure you check who is their holding company. Let me see if I can quickly skip my slide to that caveat. I have a lot, but okay, sorry. So there is every broker have their own holding company. That's the company that is keeping their money. So it could be their registrar. Then they also have a company that their fund is. So you need to always identify who they are. Then you will now, there is a limit to what you can claim from them. Okay, this is it. How to verify investment platform and brokers. So you check SEC security. Like for example, let me see. Yes, this is it. Verify the partnership and custodian. This is what I wanted to ask. So legit app usually don't hold investors' fund directly. Like this money that we have on Bamboo is not directly with Bamboo. So instead, they use licensed custodian or brokers. So like I kept saying, SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission, will license them. And then when they license them, they will now be able to, how do I put it? To collect money for investing for people. Like, oh, the money I invested this evening now is with that broker. So like take for example, Bamboo works with Drive Wealth LLC in the US and ARM Trustee in Nigeria. So this money that I used to buy shares in Nigeria now is with ARM Trustee. Is it Asset something management trustees? So these guys are SEC licensed. So the money is with them. So if the company that I invested in failed, then there is NDIC, which is Nigerian Deposit Insurance Commission. The same way you will do if your bank that you invested in fail. I know Nigerian system may come in, they may be asking you come back tomorrow, whatever, fill this form, blah blah blah. But to the level of 400,000 naira, you would get a refund up to 400,000 naira. But if your money is more than that, you may not get more than 400,000 naira. That is the risk in investment. I don't know if you understand that, Mrs. Funke. I want to see if I can see. Mr. Taye, over to you, please. We need to run through now.
All right,
Our time is
Mr.
fast.
Alawale, please, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you, sir, for this powerful insight. So this is my question. Last 2 months, I bought a particular stock in Bamboo. So I think a better glass, yes. So after the 2 months, I think earlier this month, I was trying to sell the shares, but I'll not be able to sell the shares. What they just sent to me through via my email is your sell order for better glass failed. So I want to know, is there any reason why? Because I've been sending an email to them to know the reason why the better glass is failing, because I've also done some other stuff, and I can say I've sold them, but I don't know why this particular better glass I cannot sell the stock.
Is the
So
stock
my
still
question,
trading?
yes, it's still trading, yes,
Is it increasing or dropping?
it's increasing.
Okay. So you can connect to the support. Just go to the help section of Bamboo and send them a message that you are trying to sell your stock and it's not going.
Okay, sir.
So I'm trying to find a place on Bamboo stock where you can, how much they are securing you for, especially that question of Ms. Funke. But if you run through some of these help questions, you will see one of the section where they mention that you can recover up to 400,000 back of your maximum investment. But the good thing is that we just don't pray that the company we invest to fail, because the process is not actually very easy anyway. And that is the reason why I kept saying that investment is a risk, that we all need to just know that when you are investing in it, you are taking a risk. Okay. So now let me quickly go through by trading 212 for those in the UK so that I will not be partial. Then maybe by next week Sunday we'll invest in US stock on Bamboo. By then I will have been able to add US into it, or I will try to add it in our presence so that we see how it goes. But that will require me using a card, so we can use Naira card, whichever card that you have. So a quick one now to trading 212. This is more organized, and this is for our UK participants in the meeting. You know, I told us about 3 different types of accounts in trading 212. So we have the 212 invest, 212 stock ISA, and then the 212 CFD. The CFD is the one that I said is for people that are trading immediately. Even on 212 CFD, you can buy gold, you can buy commodities, you can buy a lot of things, and you can also do Forex on it. So that one is instant, is a little bit riskier, but it also requires some time. So it's not good for starter, like I said earlier. Then the cash ISA, that one I don't advise people. It's just the normal ISA you do in your NatWest Bank, HSBC, Lloyds, and the likes. So I don't normally advise that, because the return on it is not actually as good as others. So let's start with the invest. So on the trading 212 invest, if you look at this investment was £100. It was £100, and it has grew to £113. But this investment was used on multiple companies. Look at the companies that I've invested this on. I invested on this NVIDIA, are the one that I said they are AI company. Is a tech company. Johnson & Johnson is a cosmetics company, and the likes. So these £113, it was actually £100, but it grew up to 113. But there was a time that it has fell down to as low as 80 pounds, 85 pounds. I remember my son was telling me, maybe you sell this one or you withdraw it and the likes. So now, this is what I was talking to us about. This Vanguard, FTS, all, this is a share, a stock on its own. But this one has a combination of so many companies. They have a combination of so many companies. Look at it. So the moment I bought that single Vanguard stock, that was why I said you can buy S&P 100, S&P 500. That means you are instructing your app to buy. You can also buy S&P on Bamboo. By next week, I will put us through on how to do that. So for some of us that are now practical, because by next week, we'll only be adapting those that are practical. My Mrs. Naomi, please remind me, my top winner that won my deposit of 5,000. So we need to credit them so that by next week, they will have had that 5,000 in their Bamboo account, and we would use it to buy maybe 2.5 for Nigerian stock and 2.5 for US stock, so that they can begin to monitor that as it is. So now look at this, my stock is looking at NVIDIA, 6% of it, Microsoft, 4.3% of that money, Apple. So I only bought a single stock, but it has given me access to all these companies. So I now spread that $100 over all of them. Look at it. I have an investment. So as I'm talking to you now, I can say that I have an investment in Tesla. I have in Meta, which is Facebook. I have in Alpha Class, which is a Google company. I have investments in Amazon. I have in Apple. I have in Microsoft. I have in NVIDIA. So what are we saying? Just because of tapping on that simple stock. So let me show you. This is that the name of that stock that I bought for £100 was I call it 80-20 core satellite invest. So 80-20 core satellite invest, and that 80-20 core satellite invest combines so many stock. So when I say see the allocation, this is it. So 80-20 core satellite invest. Out of it, I have the Vanguard WRL, I have the CSPX, I have the Nvidia on its own, I have the Johnson and Johnson, and the likes and the likes. So 43 pounds of it was invested in Vanguard, FTSE, iShare Core S&P. This Core S&P is tracking 500 companies accumulative in the whole world and is investing into them for me. Even when I'm sleeping, he's doing that investment for me automatically. So, and that $100 has now increased to 113. So if I had invested 100,000 pounds, then that means I'll be having 13,000 pounds now. And these, let's now quickly go and see the history of these. By next week, for those in the UK, if you have downloaded Trading 212, I would also be happy for any one of you that wants to trade maybe £10 or £50. Please deposit it into your Trading 212, maybe £50 in Trading and 212 Invest, and then you do £50 in stock ISA. Then I will explain to us to practically do it together. Then later we will be sharing experiences like we are doing now, because I believe very soon we'll be talking bigger fund as we speak. Now, let me quickly run you through some history. So if you look at these history, these are the, okay, let me go down. This was 24th of February. So the deposit, you can see that the deposit of 100 down here. And then Nvidia 9.99 went to it for investment. Then Apple 5%. Then £5, £10 to Johnson and Johnson. So this is how it was investing the money. And mind you, I wasn't the one that was doing this investment. It was the app that was doing it by itself, because I've already said you should invest in the 80-20 stuff. So then you would notice that he's now reinvesting for me. Like this one that he did on the 1st of October, I didn't tell him to invest for me. He invested, I got 11 pounds, 0.11 pounds as dividend. You can see the dividends coming back. So you will see dividend. Okay, let me even go and see the dividend. So look at it. All these that you are seeing on the screen, you see Vanguard, they paid me 11 pounds, 0.11 pounds dividend, 0.06. So all this money, I've been receiving them, and I didn't know when they paid those dividends. And those dividends were being reinvested into the fund. So that was what accumulated that fund. So by the time that I'm supposed to set an auto, and that's what I tell people, to set an auto, and that is what I will be doing from next week Sunday. So like last week now, okay, I did auto for ISA, but I didn't do auto for invest. But if you want to, if you have that fund, you can auto your invest and auto your ISA, such that it will be adding maybe £5 every month to it, or £10 to it, and it will keep accumulating your fund. So it's take advantage of compounding, and your investments start growing very fast. So what am I showing you here is that aside from the fact that the value of the stock is increasing, I am also getting dividends, and the dividends are coming in even when I don't know. They just kept sending those money in automatically. So you can take advantage of that. And then let's go to the ISA. So if you look at the ISA, every year the government gives you, like I said earlier, the opportunity to have 20,000 in your ISA. So look at it here now. My ISA allowance for this year, I have just used 35. So that means I still have 19,965 that I can still invest into this and take advantage of tax-free investment. So I tell people that are in the UK that try to invest in your ISA account on your trading platform because it saves you from interest. Now, when I did this one, I bought ISA ETF. ETF is Exchange Trust Fund, and that is a combination of various companies as well. So let me click on it. This ETF, ISA ETF, I bought it for £100, but now it is now £111. And look at the trend over time. Look at the trend in just one day. Okay. Look at the trend in 1 week, and this is the trend for the lifetime of that investment. So now I can withdraw the money, I can invest more in it. But let me show you the portfolio that makes up this investment. Look at all this portfolio here. They are the one that makes up the investment by the left. I have NVIDIA here as well. I have IGOS, I have EEDC, and then let me go to one of it that is interesting. Let me show more. Now look at it. I have the iShare S&P 500 GBP. Now this iShare S&P 500 GBP, I'm not the one that picked them. I just tell the stuff to invest in ISA ETF. So some people will ask me that, okay, what stock combination can I invest in? So you can do ISA ETF, you can do iStock. They are combining investment of different companies and you are buying them at a go. So now, this stock that I bought has, let me show you, it has ISA 500 GBP edged. So what this means is that this stock is looking at the top 500 company in the whole world and is investing my money into them. And it will now say that if the reason why it is edging it is that if the share dollar and pounds rate is fluctuating, my investment is secured. So it's an edge fund. So, and look at the companies that makes up that stuff. So I have in that one, aside from the one that I had in the invest, I now have NVIDIA again, about 8%. I have Microsoft, I have Apple, Amazon, Meta, almost similar to that other one, and that is another stock that I have invested in. So with these, anybody using Microsoft is also adding to my wealth. So this is how I would want us to begin to think anytime soon. So let me show us the dividend on ISA. Now, I showed you dividend on the invest the other time. So look at the dividend that has accumulated on ISA since April, 2 cents, 3, 13, 14, 2, 20, and the like. So you can see the way this is coming in. This is coming in almost every time and is reinvesting that money. And that comes in up to 24th of September. And the total dividend so far is £1.19. And this is different from the appreciation in the value of the shares. And I still have about 20 something, about 19,000 something that I can still add to this stock that will be free from any government tax. So if you are in the UK and you are thinking of keeping your money in an idle savings account, you may decide to just do a trading 212. And for those in the UK, you are also secured by the Financial Conduct Authority. So, but make sure you do your due diligence before you download or use any app. Like I said, this is not an advisory session. It's just more like an education session for us to learn from and share experience with each other. So on my other screen, I think this is what I would like to show us now. I would be closing this session in the next 15 minutes. So I would like to maybe end this presentation on this and then go back to my slide. So on my slide, right on the screen here, if you can still see my screen, or before I move on to my slide, for those in the UK that are in the meeting, can you tell us anything you've learned, any contribution, any addition, so that we can share from your own experience as well? Or any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I've tried this ISA sometimes ago on Monzo, and The first time I tried it, let me see if I can check. So
Okay.
I think this was early this year. I'm not sure, but if I can get it, then I'll quickly check. So, and less than £1,000 I've invested into it then, and I think I have less than £100 as a dividend on it. The question I want to ask is trading on 212 or trading with the bank directly, either as ISA or investments. I don't know if there is one advantage over the other.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think it's not is a choice. If you put it with the bank will do the trading for you. So they return what they return. Perhaps they will have taken their own.
Of course,
But if you
definitely.
do it on a trading app, you
Hmm.
are dealing directly with
With the
okay, for example, now on Monzo is a bank,
but
the digital bank in the UK. So when you go to Monzo, you will only see your ISA and its dividend. But you cannot call yourself a shareholder in any company because you don't know the company that they had invested in. Unlike the one I
that's
showed you now, that on my ISA ETF, when I clicked on it, I think I can even share my, okay, well, I've done that earlier. When I clicked on it, you can see different companies like Microsoft, Apple, whatever. That is just the difference. I am investing my ISA directly into these companies by myself, and I'm monitoring their return. Then the only thing is that the app is the one taking their own commission, which is not likely going to be more up to what the bank is going to take. So like you dropping it with Monzo will now start trading it for you. So Mondo may now have the ISA ETF. They will also have the AI stocks and the likes and the likes. So I'm not saying you should withdraw the one with Monzo, but you can make it a diversified portfolio. Maybe £1,000 with Monzo, £300 with trading 212 and the likes, and then you are mixing them together like that. So the returns, it will be like a diversified portfolio. One you can monitor, the other you can monitor it, but you are sure that you get your returns back.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. Yes. So I think this slide is just to show you what I've shown you earlier, the way the dividends are being added, one, small money, but you won't see these in Monzo. You will only see one single dividend. But this one, every company that is in this portfolio, this pie, we call it pie, any company that is inside this pie, then they will pay their dividend individually. That's why you can see a company is paying me just 2p as their dividend. It's because I'm holding a little proportion of their shares. I'm holding just a little proportion of their shares. So now it's like I said earlier, it is important that you know your risk profile. Before, this is very important. I needed to mention it. If you are the one that doesn't like taking risk, then know what you would invest in. So I did a risk analysis here, and I said if you are a risk averser, that means you are afraid of losing your money, then these are the investment that I recommend, but I'm not advising. Like I said, treasury bills and government bonds, they have less risk. Fixed return products like fixed deposits, you can fix your money with the bank. Those ones you can get them back after a certain period of time. Then dividend focused blue chip stocks, like you just want to invest in blue chip stocks like Dangote. You want to go to your registrar, you want them to do it for you. You don't want to use an app, and you have your certificate and you are monitoring it. Or money market fund. I told you about money market fund as well, that you can go to your bank, they will debit your account, and then they credit it to money market fund. But the returns is very low, 4 to 7%, but it's always higher than savings in most cases. Then if you are a moderate investor, that's the risk indifference. You don't mind whether you lose your money or you don't lose it, then you can consider diversified ETF. These are the ones that I showed you now, the ETF, the ISA ETF. Then you can look at large cap stock like blue chip companies that are very volatile, like Nvidia and the likes. I took a risk like that last week. I just invested a certain amount into the company directly. It was a big risk. You can lose the whole money, but I'm now in that red zone. So a risk lover is in this red zone when you decide to go into a single portfolio with a single amount of money. So that is that. Then you can do a balanced portfolio across sector. You can see that was what I did with the spread account, the pie. I showed you that. And you can see that the return on this is higher, 8 to 12%, compared with 4 to 7 for those that doesn't like risk. Then the people in the red zone, you get a good higher return. You can make as much as 20% plus, but you can lose everything overnight. So growth stock in emerging stock, technology, innovation, smart cap, emerging market investment. So these are what this category of people invest their money on. So I tell you earlier, and I will say it again, that please verify any investment platform you are using. FinREMIT or FinPowered is not advising, is only sensitizing and educating. So before you do it, for those in Nigeria, please check SEC register. You can check SEC register on sec.gov.ng and put the name of the app. Put Bamboo. Despite the fact that I recommended Bamboo, does not mean you should just go ahead. You can go and do your own due diligence. So click on capital market operator or approved operator. Search the company's name or their license number if you have. Confirm if the company is listed either as a portfolio manager or broker or investment advisor. If you don't see them there, if you put your money, the next money, you may not see them again. They said if the app parent company isn't listed, it may be operating unlicensed, which is a red flag. Mind you, it is not necessary you see Bamboo, but Bamboo must tell us who their money is with. And they said is ARM trustee. You can also Google it. So when you are checking the SEC register, you are checking for ARM trustee, not Bamboo. Sometimes some of these apps are already registered with them, like Coronation. Coronation is directly registered with SEC, so you can see them directly. So the same thing applies. If you don't see them, then you must see their partner. Then they must be registered with CAC Corporation, CAC, and then check Central Bank also. If the platform offer wallets like Bamboo, if the platform offer wallets, payment or deposit in Naira, check if they have CBN regulated PSP license or they are NDIC. That's what Ms. Funke asked. Otherwise, if they are not NDIC regulated, then if they close down, then you lose all your money. So I now put here that avoid apps that promise unrealistic return. The moment they are saying you put 1,000 today, get 2,000 tomorrow, I am not saying that is not what we are discussing here. And any app that you cannot contact them, they don't have app support, they don't have physical store, they cannot mention their partner, please don't do it. Then don't disclose ownership or regulatory information. So please, for what most of the things I've shared with you today, they are just for this class alone. So most especially the screenshot and the likes. I'm doing it because I believe it will be more practical, but it's not for public consumption. For those in the UK, check the FCA authorization. So you can go to the register.fca.org.uk. You can check Monzo, and then you know that Monzo is registered with the FCA. Type the company name, like I said, Trading 212, Revolut, eToro. If you don't see them there, don't put your money, don't put your ISA with them. That's risky. Confirm that the company appears on the register and their status is authorized. Then activities that they are listed in, make sure you see it. If the company is not on the FCA register, it is not legally allowed to provide investment service in the UK. Please be minded. These are part of information that this class is trying to pass across. Then the FSCS protection is the equivalent of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Commission, which is the Financial Service Compensation Scheme. So these ones, when you lose your money, like in the Nigerian version that they gave you back a certain amount up to a cap, in the UK, when most UK regulated broker offer up to 85,000 protection per investor. So if you have invested more than 85,000, you may not get a refund more than this amount. Then, like I said earlier, if the company is trading 212 and they did not tell you their partner, then there is risk. Take, for example, Trading 2Y2 uses Interactive Broker and Apex Clearing for trade execution and fund safeguarding, while Free Trade uses Drive Wealth and FCA registered custodians. So you need to look at their website, and under their website, you will see it clearly, the partners that they are working with. If you don't see that, then it's a red flag as well. At this point, I want to say that your journey to being a billion wealth builder has begun now, and your first investment that you are making today will kick you starting. So by next week, we will be going practical into those that will be starting with £5 and those that will be starting with $5,000. So if you are in the UK, if it is, and if you already have an account before, I want to challenge us. Because like I said, in 2026, FinREMIT is going to be coming up with an investors challenge, and you are one of those that would be part of us. So every month, you are going to be devoting a certain amount into your investment account. And when you do it, you would send us a notification that I have done mine. You are not keeping the money with FinREMIT. FinREMIT is only challenging you to do it. So you just say, okay, for example, maybe we are opening the year 2026. Maybe some will open with 5,000 on their app, and some will open with £5, some will open with £5,000, depending. And then every month, we will now be adding to it. If you can add your own weekly, fine. But if you are monthly salary earner, you add your own monthly. So if it is £50 that you can afford to add every month, you just keep adding it to it. But mind you, you can use any app of your choice, and do your due diligence before you download any app. I kept saying that. And don't give your app password or login to anybody, not even myself. Even if I need to help you, guide you with anything, do not disclose your password or your PIN to anyone. So we would be putting this money in regularly, and by middle of next year, we want to build a strong wealth. So for some of us in the diaspora, FinREMIT is now identifying companies that are SMEs in Nigeria that we will now support with some of our investment when we are remitting to Nigeria. And those companies, we have companies in our profile that are developing auto recovery. We have companies that are into a lot of other agriculture. Some are into tractor leasing and the like. So we want to be identifying these companies that we can take a risk of crowdfunding and supporting them, but that will not be now. We want to target that for June. But now we are building those companies to know them, that, oh, these people are worthy of investing on. We can invest in palm plantations. We can invest in, so outside the app, I want to begin to challenge us, because by June, you will be investing in real investment. Some of you will be combining money together to buy a house in the UK. Some of you will be combining money together to buy a tractor in Nigeria. That is the target that we want you to get to. Your success is our own testimony, is our own success story. So we are not charging you for all of these. It's just to challenge you. So by next week, we would believe that anyone joining this class are investors. They are no longer beginners. So we will be doing this weekly until the 20th, 21 of December, every Sunday. And by then, I will give you freedom till next year, when we now commence the journey to our wealth building. If you have any challenge, please feel free. I'm assuring you that your future self will thank you for starting what you have started today. While I say thank you to you all for joining this session, see you next week. Any question, I will be happy to answer them now. If you are, anyone wants to ask question or more clarification,
There's a hand up, sir.
Put your hands up and we start. Okay. Let them start, Mr. Wali. Tai.
All right, sir. Mr. Laide, you can go on, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you very much. It's been a whole learning curve, and then I want to appreciate the time and the privilege. So I have two questions, quick one. So first, I understand that I want to confirm if we have an stock exchange digital number, can we integrate it to Bamboo? The second will be any stock we buy here, uh, is it possible to transfer that to the digital account of the stock exchange, CSCSC account? Then if we are doing a long term, which is a advice, uh, can we track the dividends and other benefits from Bamboo or from CSCS accounts? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me pick it one after the other. If you have your CSCS account, your CSCS account is only saying the account that you have with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and then it will show you the list of stocks like the likes of Mrs. Alago, who else again, Mr. Godwin that bought from Omega and then Dangote. Their CS account will be showing those lists, like my CSCS account will be showing Stanbic, will be showing GTB. These are the ones that I bought through a physical broker. However, there are some apps that will allow you to migrate that if your broker has a digital profile they've digitized their own account, so you can migrate it into it. But some app will not allow you, so you will continue to trade with your physical broker that did that for you. That is if they cannot give you cannot migrate into the digital one like Bamboo. However, for the second question, you can trace your history on Bamboo. I think I did that yesterday or so. So there is a place you go to, you click view, and then you view your history. Then you can also view your Bamboo history as well when they pay dividends. You can even download your history as well. And that was why I said if you cannot get a support from any of these apps that you are using, please don't use them. So if you feel like you are not getting what you needed on their app, send them a mail and say that you need so. Then they can always get back to you and say, oh, this is how you get it. In fact, I remember when I had a challenge, when I chatted with them, they sent me a mail and they sent a video, and I got back to them. I said, oh, I've already resolved this challenge, and that was all. And they said, can we close the case now? I said, yes. So any challenge you are having, feel free to contact the support of the app you are using. They should be willing to help. If they didn't, then it is another risk to quickly move your money away from them. That's the good news of you selling quickly. But as regards those that have existing stock, and if they can move it into their new digital platform, I would do my research on it while I also work with the two, that's Mrs. Alago and Mr. Godwin, to see how we can migrate for them before next week Sunday. And by next week Sunday, I will give you feedback on what we have been able to do for them, and then others that have similar issues will take advantage of it. I don't know if that is clear enough.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Mr. Lady. Mr. Tokwe, son.
Yes, thank you, sir. As we'll be having this meeting every week, sorry, I want to quickly beg for opportunity to have the recorded slide if I'm not attending. Like I'll be at work some Sundays or some weekends, but
Okay.
for now I'm available.
Okay, no problem. I would, like I said, we would upload the recorded video into the FinREMIT learning portal. So for
Thank you,
those
sir.
of you that has OTP issue on your FinREMIT, please, I will check through the chat. I saw someone said he couldn't get the OTP, so we'll work on that. So you can do a replay on the FinREMIT page, and then you can also do a replay on our YouTube channel, possibly.
Okay.
But if it is private on our YouTube channel, then you can do it on our app. Then the slide will be going into my seller page, but I think it's going at a very low discount, maybe £3 to download it on my seller page. I have the complete manual for this session. For anyone that also wants to have it, I will drop the seller page to us. So if you want to download it and see it guide by line by line, you can download it on the seller page as well, SELAR .ca/FinRemit. I will share the link with us so that anyone that wants to download the manual and check it one by one, you can also do that. The manual is a bit of, I think, £5, and then 5,000 for Nigeria, people in Nigeria. Then the presentation per slide, I think, is just £3. So it's something you can download and watch. But if you want to watch the video without spending a dime, then you can go to FinRemit app and watch over and over and over again. Just that the slide will, you can see some of the things in the slides that the video may not have, and sometimes you can also have some points in the video that the slide will not have. So combining both will be an advantage. So Mr. Tope, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Take care of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So do we have any other questions, thoughts, challenges? Because at this point, I will be calling out people to ask them questions. Those that have not spoken, I know, and this is not the time for you to leave the meeting. I already have you in attendance. Okay, so who should I call out first to know what you have learned for today? Mrs. Adiola, the Spirit of God asked me to call you out. So you can now unmute and tell us. Mr. Tayo has been very active. I know at this point, people will start running away. But don't worry, you can just say anything. Anything. Okay, Mr. Wasiu. Mrs. Adiola says she's not ready to talk. Mr. Wasiu, anything from you? Mr. Ubong, who should I ask again? Do I have a lady? Miss Funke has asked question. Mrs. Alago has asked. Mr. Tope has been very active. Okay.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Tayo.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Before anybody will ask a question, I discovered something in the Bamboo app that you can't invest if you have less than 5,000. So I think the least before your account can be activated is 5,000. Because I have 2,000 there and I couldn't
yeah,
invest.
so that was why I
Discovered
said the minimum is 5,000, I think.
5,000. Okay.
Yes. So, and you are one of the winner of the stuff. So by next week, you would have your investment running. Before next week, definitely by tomorrow, all of you should have the gift from me to you. Then you can start flexing. By then you will be a shareholder in MTN. Abi Mr. Tayo, what's your preferred company?
Gbogbo ẹ̀ ni, sir.
That's good. Mr. Laide, we have your hands again. So I think
yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I discovered that the Bamboo is giving a wallet account, and that wallet is domiciled with Sterling Bank.
Okay. Yeah, so the wallet is just to hold your money temporarily. So from there you can move your money to your investment account. So I don't think there's any issue.
And there's no issue. So by implication, if you are transferring from your local bank to that place, they are charging around 100 to 150 naira. So, but if you pay directly into the Sterling Bank, the wallet, so the money reflect directly on the Bamboo
without charges.
It's just a choice. Yes, without charges.
Okay, that's a good information for
because
us.
It means that if you check, you will see that it's just like now through Bamboo, I'm having a Sterling Bank account. So if I'm paying through app, they will charge like 150 naira. But if I pay directly, maybe from MoPay or all these PalmPay and the rest, they will allow you to transfer money into the Sterling account without additional charges. So it's just like, and also confirming that credibility based on different partners they are working with, like RM and the rest, not necessarily they are listed on the platform.
Yeah. So like, for example, now FinRemit, when you do transfer on it, if you transfer, we are now working with Hydrogen and Access Bank. So if you want to send money directly, you send it through your hydrogen and it will hit your access bank in FinREMIT. But that module is not live yet. So the same thing happens to Stanley. So that means that's a good information for us. So maybe we would, were you able to generate your own wallet account from Bamboo?
No, I was able to observe that they created an account for me, so I saw the detail.
Did you
Then
see
I
that
went,
detail on Bamboo app?
yes, on the Bamboo app, and they put
Okay.
my name. They put my name in the front. They now put BNB Sterling. So
Okay,
if you are sending money to me, so automatically they open an account. The wallet is from the wallet. So they have the wallet they are issuing. The wallet that I have. So I have a wallet account with Sterling,
I think I
but it's
understand.
true.
What I will do now is I want us to show others so that they can have that access to their wallet, so that when they are crediting them, we can just credit that wallet directly instead of transferring to them. For example, maybe we are investing in each other. We can also just pay. Maybe, for example, now we want to invest 1 million into Mr. Uluwo's account. Instead of us paying it into his GTB, then he now move it from GTB to Bamboo again. We just pay it straight into that his wallet, and it will eat his Bamboo straight away. So I want every one of us to try and see how we can see our wallet account, because by the time we start sending money to our account, then that would be an easy way for us, and it will save us from interest, because I didn't use that approach. So I will also try that approach on my own too as well. So if I'm able to get it, I will share it with us next week as well.
Yeah, so what I observe is that once you log into the app, you have USD wallet, you have Nigeria wallet. Just tap Nigeria wallet, you will see the detail, and you can copy out the account and you so that it's Stanbic Bank domicile wallet.
Okay. So I will look into that, and then anyone that has it, then maybe the top 10 people that are getting the support should share their wallet account with Mrs. Naomi on Bamboo, so that will be where the money goes straight. On this note, I want to say a big thank you to us. I don't know if we have any, I don't think we have any more questions. We can entertain any more questions. Maybe we just have a closing remark. GM, I think you have something to say.
No, yes, can you hear me, sir?
Very well, clearly now.
Okay. I just want to, on behalf of everybody, everybody that participated, all the participants, I want to say a big thank you to you, sir, for this time and for this great opportunity. It's a golden opportunity that we will never take for granted. We want to thank you for your time and the job that I know a lot of things might have gone underground that we that just enjoy this for free were unable to see. I want to say God Almighty will continue to bless you in and out in the mighty name of Jesus. God will increase your wisdom. So on behalf of everybody that participated, we want to say thank you very much, and God will bless you more. Thank you. We will not take this for granted. And I will believe that all the efforts that you put in to put this together will never go in vain in the mighty name of Jesus. Once again, we say thank you, sir, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, and do have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much, sir. Good night, sir.
Welcome, sir. Yes, sir.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a great week, everyone.